Hi everybody, Alan Demon here, writer, filmmaker, novelist, etc. I love telling stories, and welcome to Storyteller, giving you insights, thoughts, and hopefully inspiration on the art of storytelling so you can be a better storyteller yourself and also understand story better. And I think the two go hand in hand. You know, when you learn to practice something, when you learn to write a story yourself, it automatically gives you an insight and a greater appreciation of good writing and bad writing as well. You can spot where things don't work very well and why you're bored or why you don't like a particular character. So it makes you more conscious of the process of storytelling. I'm just a little bit of update, a bit of my own news here. I'm just in the process of publishing a new version of a novel I brought out in 2016. It's actually a novella, so it's only about 120 pages, but it's a story that I absolutely love, and it's called Unstuck. And it's about a young man who begins in a very, very stuck, fixed routine, a comfort zone of very narrow proportions. And off he goes on a journey. He is taken or forced onto and chooses in the end to go on a journey which really evolves him, and he becomes a wonderful human being by the end. So, this is a link to all of my stories. They're all about journeys, and that life itself is a journey. So I'm just going to say something about that. And most people are not awake to this. Some people are, but we are on a journey from birth to death through time and space. And when you wake up to this fact, you think, wow, what is my journey? What's the point of it? What am I looking for? What kind of a journey? Do I want to just be in the same place for the rest of my life? That's my character who thinks he's going to stay put for the rest of his life. Or do I want to go on a journey? And of course, this does raise questions about what you think life is about. But my own view is that we are on a journey, and this is why I love the hero's journey as a story model, because it says, go on your adventure, follow your dream, do what you love to do best of all. And, you will meet shadow characters. You'll meet, people who block your way. You will meet villains. You will people who stop you. But most of all, it is, of course, and this is when you really get an understanding of the hero's journey, is that it's all internal. The real blockages, the real shadows, the real villains, the real gatekeepers are actually inside you. And there's no one stopping you from having a wonderful life except you. Now that takes a long time to kind of learn that. Some people maybe know it instinctively, and off they go and they have an incredible life. But most of us kind of get to it bit by bit, and many people just stay put with very little evolution. But I would always say to people, go on your journey, go on, and as Joe Campbell says, say yes to the adventure. This is very, very important. So, my stories are all about journeys. And I kind of only just come to realize this recently. And I have a couple of marvelous friends who are very, very tech savvy. And they have built me a new website. And this is what links all my stories together. This idea that, we have to go on a journey to find out who we are and what we're made of and what our potential is. So, my website is technically up, but and you're welcome to go and have a look at it. But still a few more things to do to it yet. And I will announce that very shortly in forthcoming videos. So that's a little bit about where I'm at the moment. And just to recap a little bit on last week, and I was sad to see I didn't actually get that many viewers, because I think the simple story formula is an amazing little tool to help you find and create the core of a story, and I won't repeat it in too much terms, but basically you get your two main components, which is your protagonist and antagonist, and you decide really what is the protagonist's problem. There's no point writing a story if there's nothing to solve. There is some stories are like that where they just kind of ramble around and there is not much point to it. It may be more the dialogue's brilliant and nothing really happens. But I believe that the real potential of story is to really inspire people to go on their own journey by following a character who goes on his or her journey. So, simple story formula in a nutshell. Protagonist has a problem. The problem defines the goal. Then you bring in the antagonist. The antagonist says, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to achieve your goal. I'm going to stop you because I want the same thing or something very similar. So no. Now you have got conflict, and I've talked about conflict being, essential to storytelling, because it is through conflict that we learn and we grow. If things are so easy for your protagonist, what has he or she learnt by the end if there's nothing to stop them? They haven't grown at all. So in many ways, my understanding, my approach to story and the hero's journey model is very much about personal growth. We have to grow as human beings. We have to become wiser, kinder, more compassionate, more understanding, more connected to ourselves. Many, many things. One or many of those things may apply to a character on his or her journey. But I think this is really, really vital. So the simple story formula, if you are interested, go back to last week's episode. And, as I said, I can send you notes on it. I probably will put some of these exercises and tools up on my website. They're not there yet, but they will be there and people can download them and use them. There they are laid out for you. But the simple story formula, brilliant. And I got some lovely comments from people. Thank you, Shirley. And I don't know the name of the other person who described me as a genius, but I like that man a great deal. But it is a very useful tool, and I think it can help you shape your story, because I've found that I've done a lot of teaching of screenwriting and creative writing, and what I find is that people often have a very vague sense of what their story is. Well, I think it's about this woman who, has got a problem, she's not very happy, but it's all very woolly. But often it's a feeling that inspires us to write, or sometimes it can be an image as well, a visual image. Something, inspires us or fires our imagination, but we don't have any more information. Think of story in a bit, I know this sounds a bit sort of mechanical, but think of it as a machine. And for the machine to work, it has to have the core components in it. Otherwise, it will not work, or it won't work very well. So the simple story formula. I was actually going to talk about really an aspect of the simple story formula, but I found naturally I'm talking about other aspects of storytelling. But here's the thing, how, and I'm going to leave you with this question, and that is, you pick up a book, or you sit in front of a television screen or a film screen in a cinema, and something happens. There is a process where you travel from your isolated, separate existence. You're sitting in a chair or sitting in a cinema seat, and you find yourself transported into this other world. And I describe that as passing through the proscenium arch. Now, the question is, are there techniques to help the reader go through the arch, or the viewer go through the arch? Are there techniques? Are there secrets? I'm talking about the secrets of storytelling here. And the answer is yes, there are. And if you want to know more about the secrets of storytelling, then tune in next week. That's it. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.